If one wishes to discover their highest value and status in life, it is helpful to consider the basic economic model of supply and demand. A good or service is valued higher when there is a limited supply of said good or service, coupled with a high desire for it. Likewise, a person who is unique and in low supply, but high in demand and interest to humankind, will acquire significant higher value and status in life. In order to discover your value in this life, you must not be afraid of finding and embracing your unique self and sharing it with the world. Not everyone is a person of low supply and high demand. If everyone was, then there would no longer be a low supply, and consequently no longer would anyone be uniquely valuable. Just like how government bodies and economies self-regulate supply and demand, so does nature with greatness and human value. Everyone possesses some form and degree of greatness, but only some of us possess truly unique and sovereign greatness. Greatness that slices through all the noise of the world and yields collective impact, high virtue, wealth, fame and power. In order to better understand the distribution and separation of human greatness, it is helpful to consider a species outside of humanity, the bumblebee. Consider the queen bee. A queen bee is born a queen bee. It is born into higher value and status as a result of its ability to fulfill a role that is in low supply and high demand within its beehive. Whether the bee wants it or not, it is a queen. Likewise, whether you want to or not, you may possess unique greatness. The difference between bees and us is that bees are immensely less complex. Human culture is far more complicated and on a much larger scale than that of a beehive. Our higher level of consciousness and cultural complexity imposes a significant difference on the process of determining who is what kind of bee in the human world. Unlike a beehive, there is room in the human world for far more queen bees than the one per hive dynamic of the bee world. Through mass media and mass communication, our human hives have become enormously large. Our boundaries extend beyond our immediately surrounding communities, and as a result, human greatness is far more widespread, complex, and malleable. It is, therefore, the obligation of every individual, both for the benefit of themselves and the collective quality of humankind, to oppose the resistance of life and fight tooth and nail for their greatness, in hopes that it may be low in supply and high in demand. One must go to the end of the world for their beliefs, ideas and ambitions. One must trust that they are worth as much as they think they are, and work untiringly throughout life to prove it. With attention, conviction and action, your greatness will manifest into its particular value, and you will find out how great it truly is. Thank you for watching. If you found enjoyment and value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you are not already, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We are constantly coming out with new videos to help you experience life with clarity and wonder.